сьогоднішніх умовах, коли українці розкидані по всьому світу, важливим аспектом життя є знання чи вивчення англійської мови. Організація ENGin поєднує англомовних волонтерів із українцями до 35 років для вивчення чи поглиблення знань англійської в умовах віртуального навчання по програмі або вільного спілкування. Наша кореспондентка Ніколь Гупало поспілкувалася з засновницею цієї програми. Кого цікавить записатися на навчання чи волонтерити або як вчитель, звертайтеся на веб-сайт enginprogram.org.
Вітаю вас, шановні глядачі! Сьогодні я розмовляю з founder Katerina Manov про програму ENGin. Thank you for joining us today, Katerina.
It's so great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Please tell us more about ENGin. How did this idea form and how long has the organization existed?
I founded ENGin in early 2020, so it's been about 3.5 years, and it actually all started with just one conversation. I was mentoring a Ukrainian high schooler who hoped to attend college in the United States, and she was an absolute genius, excellent student, nationally recognized piano player, researcher, and we were corresponding by email at first. It went great, but then our very first Zoom meeting, she struggled to talk to me. Even though she'd been studying English since first grade, she never had the opportunity to learn to have real conversations with real people. And as I dug into it a little bit more, I realized this wasn't just her challenge, this was a nationwide challenge. English is widely studied in Ukrainian schools, but there is a focus on memorization, vocabulary, conjugations, and not very much conversation or the opportunity to speak in English about real world topics with real people. So I thought, let me create something because this seemed like a very solvable problem and it seemed like I could help a lot of people. So I started pairing people up one by one, starting with just high schoolers in Ukraine, working with high schoolers in the United States and Canada and wherever there were English speakers. And since then it's expanded to anyone from age 9 to 35 can be a part of our program for free and can improve their English with us.
And how long is this program and where does it take place?
The program it's very flexible. It's up to a year, and really it depends on every student's goals and current level. So some students might want to participate for 3, 6, 9 months. Some stay for the full year. And because of the one-on-one format, that's sort of the magic of what we do. We can really customize the experience to exactly what you need. So someone might be looking for a new job, so their volunteer might help them with their resume and do mock interviews. And someone might just be a student, just generally wanting to brush up their proficiency. So we pair them with someone their age who becomes a friend. They can play video games together online or talk about whatever interests they have in common, share music, watch movies together, that kind of thing. So the duration really varies based on each student, and everything is online, so you can be anywhere. We don't have a physical office or home base. We all work from home. Most of the team is across Ukraine or refugees in other countries now since the war started. We have a couple of people in the United States, but our students are really all over Ukraine and now the world, because we do have students who are refugees, and we have volunteers in over 130 countries, so it's truly a global organization.
I was actively looking at the time to volunteer and help Ukrainians in any way that I could. And I thought it would be a great thing to do because at the time when I registered, I had already volunteered for organizations such as the UC Parachute. And I found this a great idea because teaching English to Ukrainians is a great benefit right now, especially since so many Ukrainians are displaced around the world. And it may have been unforeseen for them to find themselves in a country where it's primarily English speaking. And it can be very expensive to study new languages. So this program is a great benefit to Ukrainians.
You dove into this a little bit earlier, but who is eligible to sign up?
Age-wise, just because of volunteer availability, we are working with students age 9 to 35 right now. And we do have a little screening interview to make sure that students can at least understand basic English and speak a little bit. So, very basic level of English is required, and then you should be able to get online and have a video chat 1 hour a week, and students do choose the day and time, so it's very flexible, but you do need an internet connection, and those are really all the requirements. We really try to be as open and accessible to everyone as we can.
How can one sign up for the program, and how many Ukrainians have already learned or are learning English through ENGin?
We've had almost 20,000 participants since we started in 2020. So we've grown a lot, and we would love to have anyone who's interested come and join. I know it can be scary. We hear from people sometimes that they'd like to improve their English, but how am I going to talk to a stranger online in English? I don't speak well. So there's this big confidence barrier, I guess, to overcome, but we really encourage people to try. It's not scary. Our volunteers are very nice. And it's very easy to sign up on our website, www.enginprogram.org. There's a link to our application form, and then we have a brief 15-minute Zoom interview, like I mentioned, and then we have an orientation for all new students. We have a training for new volunteers. So we also encourage, we are always in need of volunteers. So any English speakers who are watching and no knowledge of Ukrainian is required, no teaching experience, just being able to speak English for 1 hour a week with a Ukrainian buddy. So yes, students and volunteers can both sign up on our website, and sort of similar application process, very quick, and then we can get you matched up and get you started.
Участь у цій програмі допомогла мені подолати мовний бар'єр, а також вільніше почувати себе у спілкуванні англійською мовою, перейти від мови з підручників до живої мови, якою послуговуються носії у реальному житті. Тому я рекомендую якомога більшій кількості українців брати участь у подібних ініціативах, адже вони дозволяють не тільки покращувати свої навички в якомусь академічному сенсі, а також пришвидшувати процес інтеграції в західний соціокультурний простір, частиною якого Україна активно намагається стати.
What are your goals for ENGin?
I would like to get big enough where we're really making an impact on a national scale and making English fluency the norm in Ukraine. Right now, as I mentioned, we've held 20,000 people, which is a lot, but we can also get a lot bigger. I would love to work with hundreds of thousands of students one day. I think English fluency is essential to Ukraine rebuilding after the war. I think it's essential to economic growth, to social progress, to working with international partners to rebuild. And it needs to be English fluency at scale, right? We need to be in Ukraine like Norway or the Netherlands or Germany, where young people speak English as a norm. So that is my big vision, and I know it's a really ambitious one, so we'll see if we can get there, but right now we're moving towards it one student at a time.
Those are wonderful goals, and thank you so much again for the wonderful discussion.
Thank you. This was fun to share experience, and hopefully some of your viewers are interested in signing up as students or volunteers.
This was an interview with founder Katerina Manoff discussing ENGin. Я Ніколь Хопало для програми Contact Next Generation.